Russia's defense ministry stating that the deployment of ATACMS inside Russian territory would mark a radical escalation and trigger, quote, an adequate and tangible response from Russia. For more, let's cross to correspondent Gulliver Cragg in the east of Ukraine. Gulliver, earlier we played that clip of Dmitry Peskov blaming the United States for ratcheting up tensions with this green light. He was also asked about a Turkish proposal to freeze the conflict.
Yes, and Dmitry Peskov's answer was that a priori that proposal was not acceptable to the Russian side. It's been reported only in the media. I don't think it's been, officially put forward, but the Turkish proposal is basically to freeze the conflict along its current lines with a moratorium on Ukraine joining NATO, that it wouldn't join the alliance for the next 20 years, something like that. The fact that the Russians are refusing that point blank is kind of reinforcing the point that the Ukrainians are trying to make amid all this talk about possible negotiations, which is that Vladimir Putin is not offering negotiations at the moment, or at least not on any terms that would be reasonable to Ukraine. They would want Ukraine to give up voluntarily more territory than the territory that the Russians currently control, according to where the front lines are at the moment. And that is something that the Ukrainians, I think, absolutely can't stomach, however difficult a situation they are in at the moment militarily, which is why they do welcome the decision by the Biden administration to allow these ATACMS to be used at targets within Russia, even if it's only in Kursk region, even if it's only to some kind of limited extent. It may help them at least improve their position a bit, make the Russians think that maybe the war is, coming onto their territory, and make them think that they do perhaps need to negotiate. That's, in any case, the kind of hope that I've heard expressed today in eastern Ukraine.
Yeah, it comes, though, 9 weeks out from Inauguration Day in the United States. You're just back from the front line. What are some of the other reactions there?
Yeah, I'm just on the road. As you can perhaps see behind me, cars are queuing up to fill up their tanks. This is the main road behind me between the Donbass and Dnipro, the biggest city and logistical hub west of the Donbass region, where I'm going to get my train later. Soldiers in the Donbass that I've been speaking to today are all extremely tired, and they all admit that they are short on personnel. Within that, there is a range of sort of those who are still optimistic, or at least determined, and they're saying we've got to fight on, and others who are saying, look, we're going to be forced to negotiate anyway, and we realise this already, and others who are saying that they actually hope that these negotiations will take place and that some kind of freezing of the conflict can happen, because they're just exhausted. Too many men have had too little breaks, and they are also, disappointed. Some of them anyway expressed clear disappointment in their compatriots, not enough of them being willing to sign up. More disappointment, though, I heard expressed in the West. The West's continued failure to provide what Ukraine needed on time, and I think it's pretty clear that they're going to blame the West above all for these decisions once again coming, as the Ukrainians see it, too late.